Who here has heard the song Mo Money, Mo Problems? And did you believe it? Did you really think that these guys who are rapping making tons of money are actually having problems because of it? Well, let's go into it. So, according to a study conducted by Rubinstein and Gladstone, they conducted an experiment that inspected the relationship between money and happiness. Gladstone and Rubinstein argue that individuals with higher liquid wealth were found to have more positive perceptions of the financial well-being, which in turn predicted higher life satisfaction, suggesting that liquid wealth is indirectly associated with life satisfaction. Let's go into it. So often people those who make a lot of money make a lot of sacrifices. So it's either they spend a lot of time at work or they have to relocate away from family and friends, causing less happiness because they can't be able to spend the money with people they love. The more money you make, the more people will ask you for it. And I know anyone who here has seen it, I've seen it. So people tend to, they see you with a lot of money, they ask for money, like you can borrow $10, $15. They're not going to do it. They're not going to see that money back. They reap the benefits from you, but they don't ever pay you back. Hey everybody, so my name is Noah Hernandez, and I'm going to be talking to you about money and happiness, and why more money doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be more happy because of it. I will be persuading you with this statement. More money equals more problems. Yes, like the song. So who here sees why money is less happy? I don't think a lot of you are going to agree with me on this. Let's look at some hypotheticals. So the amount of money you make doesn't matter if you don't spend it on things that you don't like. So let's go ahead and say you have $15,000, but you can only spend it on things that you don't like. Do you really think that you'll be happy? I wouldn't think so. So in another experiment conducted by Goodman, Irwin, and Nicklaus, they conducted a study with relationship and money and happiness. They argue that money and happiness only happens when the individual spends it on something they like or on exponential things, not material things. So basically what they did was they got introverts and extroverts and decided to give them a mix of a book voucher or a bar voucher. They randomized it, and so the extroverts that got the bookstore showed signs and an increase of unhappiness, and same things for the introverts who had the bar voucher. They weren't happy because they wouldn't be able to use it on something they want to use. So, just to go ahead and prove, although they had more income, they still were unhappy. They had more income, so more money doesn't really mean more happiness. Money is also subjective. So different people around the world have mixed feelings about it. So just because someone who makes $100,000 doesn't necessarily think they'll be happy, and the same thing can mean with someone who makes $20,000. They're not going to be unhappy or happy. It's subjective. Many people who live along the poverty line, and those who don't experience the same problems that people with money do. So according to Tom Hiddleston Jr. in his article, Tony Robbins, money doesn't equal happiness, but here's what does. He mentions that one of the biggest mistakes that people make is obsessed only about making money and not improving the quality of life for themselves and the people they care for. Dan Schliemann says that the answer is that money bears an extraordinary weak and tenuous relationship to human happiness. More precisely, one's incomes correlates positively, but rather weakly, with one's feelings, a subjective well-being. So, after throwing all these facts to you guys, we can finally talk about some of the problems that you have with money, and some more just overall problems and why you're not going to really be more happy. Successful people are not happy because of money. Many doctors suggest that wealthy people are happy because of their success, not necessarily because of their money. The money is actually just a bonus because they are successful. According to Natalie Parletta, a Medium writer who mentioned in the article, money doesn't bring happiness, but we keep spending. She mentions that essentially wealthier people are more likely to experience self-oriented emotions like contentment, pride, and amusement, while poorer people feel more positive emotions towards others like love and compassion. In conclusion, money doesn't mean more happiness. Just because you make a lot of money doesn't mean that you're going to be more significantly happy than someone who doesn't. Money plays a huge factor in our lives, but when our lives revolve around it, it can cause a lot of problems. When deciding something extraordinary, such as a career or even a major, I would suggest doing something that makes you happy, because, like I said before, more money, more problems. Thank you guys so much for listening to my talk presentation. Good luck to you all, and once again, thank you so much.